When it comes to PlayStation first-party exclusive, Sony knocks it out of the park. When it comes to Sony movies, however, that's a different story. I don't think I need to remind you of Madam Web or Let There Be Craven the Hunter that just came out not that long ago, but that's not going to stop our boys Sony from taking everything they didn't learn from these movies and applying it to their video games by adapting them as movies. A few years back, we had that terrible Ratchet and Clank animated film that was essentially just video game cutscenes extended out. We had that Frankenstein Uncharted movie that combined several different games into one with a terribly miscast Tom Holland as Nathan Drake. And here we are again with a brand new adaptation of Until Dawn, a scary choose-your-own adventure which heavily leans into the butterfly effect. The choices you make early on can have ripple effects later in the game. It's a smart idea. It was a very fun concept. Sure can't wait to see how the geniuses over at Sony Entertainment utilize this one. They don't! Let's talk about Until Dawn. No, I was right the first time. Before I get into the spoiler-free review, if you wouldn't mind making a clear choice right now to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. You might be new here and not know what it's all about, but this choice today could have a ripple effect as well and show you more videos of me in the future, and that, my friend, is a smart play. Because I post movie reviews, movie roasts, live streams every single week, and it would be great to have you along for the ride. All right, let's begin, and keep in mind, if this video does decent traction, I will do a spoiler video as well on this thing. A few factoids to start. I call them Adam Fun Facts here. This is an R-rated movie. IMDb clocks it at 1 hour and 43 minutes. It's got a good pace, it moves quick, and it has virtually nothing to do with the video game outside of the title. And I guess you could say that's actually refreshing to not copy the game, but do your own story with different characters in a different setting, kind of. I say that with the assumption they had a story that made any sense at all and was interesting in the slightest. But really what we have here is a poor version of Cabin in the Woods, a movie that's far better and that you should watch and actually has a solid ending that elevates the entire thing. This doesn't have that. It also doesn't even have the setting. And since I have played the video game, I'm going to take this review from two different angles. One, how does it stack up to the game? And two, how does it stack up as just a movie? Because you shouldn't have a prerequisite going into a film to enjoy it and understand what's happening. And good news on that front, you're actually better off not knowing the game, because this movie pales in comparison to that. The Until Dawn video game follows a bunch of unlikable teenage brats who are put in a very bad situation when they go up to a cabin in the woods and they start getting picked off one by one. The fun concept behind the game, as I alluded to in the intro, is the butterfly effect and getting into the psyche of each of these characters. The problem for the player is once they make one too many wrong choices, that's game over for that character, and you continue on the story with the rest of them. The movie decides no. Instead, we're gonna go Groundhog's Day. Instead, we're gonna go Happy Death Day. We're gonna repeat the same night, but with a twist. The people die, they come back, and the scenario changes. One day it might be a crazy clown. The next, it's a giant ominous figure in the distance. They don't know what they're gonna get. Obviously, this premise gives the writers full reign to have a lot of fun with creative kills and different types of characters, really playing with the genre, which to that extent is what the game did as well. The difference is the game is very aware of this. It's in on its own joke, just like Cabin in the Woods. The movie just feels kind of poorly written. By the time the end credits rolled, I had no idea what the point of any of this even was. What were the motives? What was the plan? How does any of this even work, and why? Now, if you already know going into Until Dawn, this is going to be a dumb movie, but you're just there for the kills and the scares, it's pretty kind of by the numbers stuff for horror fans. If you're like a teenager or don't go to movies a lot, then sure, you'll get. I took my kids to it. My teens went to this movie with me. They both enjoyed it. My son gave it an 8. I'm sure my daughter would say something like that as well. I'm a lot lower. I think this is not great. I didn't find myself too captivated by any of it. The characters are all incredibly stock. There is one character that has something kind of interesting going on, but then it goes nowhere at all. Actress Ella Rubin plays Clover. She's the main protagonist here. Clover, that's an interesting name. What does that mean? What's the point of that? 4-leaf clover, lucky, is there something there? I don't fucking know. The name is said so much. It's one of those movies where the script says the character name ad nauseum. Clover, are you in here? Clover, cloves. Four leaf. Clover, are you around? Clover. Clover, look out. Clover. Clover, 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 Clover. Clover. She and her NPC friends go up to a cabin 1 year after the disappearance of her sister. I think her sister's name is Melanie. I'm not too sure. Sarcasm. I know her name is Melanie because Clover says it every 5 fucking minutes. Melanie? Is that you, Melanie? Melanie? It's like a dude with a chainsaw. Melanie? Is that you? I don't think there's a chainsaw in the movie. You know what else there isn't? A werewolf. The only reason I say that is because it felt like at one point maybe there was. The movie teases a werewolf 2 different times. There's a picture on the table of a werewolf. And then a couple shots later, we have a big ass full moon. So I'm like, oh, cool, a werewolf's gonna come. No werewolf comes. Maybe I lost my mind and none of that happened and I'm just like making things up. But I'm pretty sure that's how it played out in the theater. You can let me know in the comments if you thought a werewolf was gonna come. If a werewolf's gonna come. Now I'm thinking about something completely different. That feels good. Subscribe. Okay, so we have a cabin in the woods scenario. Our teens get up there and very quickly shit goes south. Creatures are showing up, clowns are coming by, people are dying left and right. And there's a big hourglass on the wall. And the idea, as far as they can tell, is once the sands of time, Prince of Persia's out of existence, it's dawn. And so they figure out in their infinite wisdom that if they can just survive until dawn, maybe they won't Groundhog's Day keep looping. Okay, it sounds like we could do some fun stuff with this, but then we never do any fun stuff with this. These guys are idiots. They never come up with any plans. They never think things through at all. It's just redoing the same night with different scenarios playing out. The only things that were enjoyable for me were the kills, but even they kind of paled for the most part. A lot of just lame pulling people into dark shadows and then screams. But occasionally, we get some fun stuff. Most of it's done through montage. The fun stuff you see in the trailers, where like the worms coming through the cheek and like the shadow dude running up on them, that's what it is. That's basically the entire scene because it's a montage. Now, I did say it's rated R, and that's for some swearing, which kind of abruptly comes out of nowhere. For the first 20 or so minutes, I thought this was a PG-13 film. There's no real swearing, nothing seems like it's gonna be very edgy or bloody or gory, and then suddenly a switch is flipped. And the actors start dropping F-bombs left and right for just a little bit. This is a movie that feels like it went through some changes along the way. I don't know. That's how it came off to me. There's not a vision that seemed like it made it all the way to the ending. At least that's what I hope happened. Otherwise, the writer just didn't even try to make sense of anything going on. Just wanted to throw a bunch of stuff at the wall and then not really care if it sticks. It's your standard modern horror, so no nudity, light swearing, some decent gore here and there, nothing too crazy. I will say there's a lot of practical work going on. All the makeup and everything does look very nice. Visually speaking, it does the job. It's not wowing you by any means, but it's a serviceable, competently made movie. The director really went all in, though, on people crawling and getting pulled away. I'm not being hyperbolic when I say there are probably a dozen times in this movie where someone is crawling on the ground or getting dragged away. It's absolutely out of control. Our poor Clover is getting dragged around like it's nobody's business. I just kept thinking, Clover, Clover, no, Clover! As far as the characters, they didn't really try at all to make them anything. I didn't find any of them unlikable or annoying, but I also just didn't really find any of them to be anything. They just were all kind of stock characters that were existing in this world. The one chick had the dumbass bull ring. I'm never gonna be on board with the bull ring. I don't get the appeal. I don't understand it. Oftentimes when I see women with them, it looks like there's snot in their nose. End of the day, to each their own. That was the one notable standout performance in the film, was the bull ring. I'm sure there was music in the film. I don't remember it. it's there doing its thing, I guess, but not jumping out there either. There's no theme song or score that was really wowing me. Overall, this movie's harmless. I would not rush out and waste money to see it in the theaters. Of course I did, but I'm telling you, there's a lot better out there. Go watch Sinners again. That's way more interesting than this schlock. This is fast food horror films. This is Blumhouse level of horror. So you could probably just wait till it hits streaming, watch it on a Sunday night, and go, yeah, it passed the time. Until dawn. Or better yet, you could just play the video game and experience something far more creative and interesting with a much better story. And there you have it. Those are my thoughts on Until Dawn. Let me know if you saw this movie already. Leave a comment. Again, please think of liking and subscribing to the channel, hitting that notification bell so future me shows up in your feed. I would appreciate it. It's a butterfly effect I can absolutely get behind. And with that, I take my leave. Hopefully I see you next time. Take care. Clover! Thanks again for watching the video. If you wouldn't mind, I would appreciate it if you checked out patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. That's where fans of my channel go to help support it. There are different tiers with different offerings, exclusives every month. We got multiple movie reviews. There's a vlog monthly. And even if you don't want to plop down $1 a month, you can just sign up for Patreon for free and become a member at no charge. Appreciate your time. Thanks.